Hello and welcome to this new edition of our special coverage of the latest developments on the ground concerning the U.S.-Iranian war. And U.S. President Donald Trump said that the U.S. negotiators will be in Pakistan on Monday to resume talks on ending the war with Iran. And he again threatened to destroy its power plants and bridges if no deal is reached. Trump said he was offering Iran a reasonable deal, and if Tehran says no, the United States is going to knock out every single power plant and every single bridge in Iran. And to shed more light on this, we are delighted to have with us over the phone Major General Osama Kabeer. He is the advisor at the Command and Staff College. Thank you very much, General Osama, for talking to us today.
Thank you very much, ma'am, and very good evening to you.
Very good evening to you, sir. Major General Osama Kabeer, tell us more about your insight on the latest developments on the ground concerning the American-Iranian war.
Yes, and after the Iranians have blocked the Hormuz Strait yesterday, and as we spoke about that yesterday, that the two counterparts now in a great scale of negativity in front of each other. It seems that both of them would like to reach the highest level of points and demands within the negotiations.
Yeah.
And from here that we can say the mediators and the mediators are professionals. If we speak about Pakistan, Egypt, Turkey, and KSA, they are trying to make ends meet, to find some matching points in between the two counterparts, just to make sure that we can end this status quo to a good, reasonable, comprehensive resolution. So I would say that Donald Trump today, he spoke again, and he said if the Iranians wouldn't accept the offers we gave to them and wouldn't believe that they went through the negotiations in a wrong way the last couple of days, we will again devastate all their assets, and military assets will start like targeting their infrastructure installations. Okay, that's not a new talk. That's a talk that we've heard like too many times before. The problem here is that the Iranians seems that they are very aggressive as well. And as you remember that yesterday, Mohammed Bakr Khalibab, he's the chief of the parliament of Iran, he gave a speech, he gave an interview with the Iranian television yesterday, and he said very also like very harshing points. It seems they are very stubborn.
Yeah.
So the case of stubbornness in between two counterparts would lead the Middle East to a point of no settlement, a point of harshing, a point of unrest situation. And we would say that the Donald Trump administration have extended the duration of ceasefire agreement till, as I remember, this Wednesday, maybe more days, couple more days like ahead. Hopefully that the mediators can get quickly before this duration is ending, because if the war will strike again within the Middle East, that would be a catastrophic situation that no one would like to see that. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. General Osama, the deadline of Trump will be ending in 2 days on Wednesday. What if, do you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I hear you.
Yeah, I'm telling you about that the deadline will be ending in 2 days. What if the negotiations failed tomorrow? What are the expected scenarios in your point of view?
All right, very good question. Regarding to what the U.S. administration have announced that they would restrike again, let's say, or let's assume, to be much more specific, that they would restrike again the Iranian infrastructure and installations. The problem herein is that the Iranians actually still have something on hand, which means that the reserve of their ballistic missiles, which is the only long hand they have since this war actually struck in 28th of February 2026, still active. And some of the information now have been released this early morning that says the Iranians still have 60%, and that's a big number in their reserve, which means they are capable enough to continue this war and still targeting the United States military bases within the GCC, and unfortunately also the GCC countries are exposed to the Iranian virus again, and this is something that we condemned and rejected like tens of times via the Egyptian political leadership and the foreign minister. So if the Iranians still have 16%, and this information was right, which means the expansion of the war and enlarging of the fire scale, so I would say that would cause too many casualties to the Iranians as well as to the U.S. as well as to the GCC. Yeah. So that's one option. Second thing is that as we got used from Mr. Donald Trump, President of the U.S., like from time to time he changes his speeches and declarations, and hopefully that he will change this time, maybe give an extensive time for this ending line, the ceasefire agreement, or to seek for another objective other than to strike the Iranian infrastructure, because they will rebel back, and when they rebel back, that would like lit up the fire within the whole area. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Major Osama, American President Donald Trump said that he was offering Iran a reasonable deal, and if Tehran says no, the United States is going to knock out every single power plant and every single bridge in Iran, while Iran said that it would not reopen the crucial maritime trade route until the United States ended its blockade of the Iranian ports. How do you view this, what we called a ping-pong from both sides, the American side and the Iranian side?
That's a terrific expression for ping pong. You know what? It's really ping pong. Yeah, that's true. So the thing here is that the declaration of starting the bridges and the infrastructure installations and associations within the Iranian territory is not new. This is something that we heard almost now 25 days ago. The thing in here is that the points made by the Iranians as well as the points made by the Americans to be put on the table within the negotiations were very hard from the both sides.
Yeah.
Which means the 10 points of the Iranian authority is understandable that the Americans would understand it, and vice versa, vis-a-vis, let's say. The Americans would put something like 15 points that the Iranians would totally refuse, which means that the Americans now, they have the strongest power military within the world, but they couldn't achieve the strategic military objectives within a 40-day of war. And that's why I would say, from my perception, this is why they tended to go through the negotiations. So if they restrike again, and the Iranians have something in reserve, and we rebel against them, retaliate against them, that would cause like too many casualties. And here I'm pretty much worried about the GCC countries, because they have had enough within the last 40 days. And secondly, that would cause much more casualties. And here we are afraid of the civil population and the source of power for the people in Iran and people of the GCC country, as well as some civil people also could be hero there. So I would say I'm trying to hope that maybe Donald Trump, again, would change his declaration. I would say, okay, let's seek for other 7 days extensive period of time for this ceasefire agreement, or other than let's target something else, or double blockade the Hormuz Strait, or whatever.
Yeah.
So I can't up till now make up a good resolution about that, because too many declarations we have had from the American administration within the last couple of months. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Major General Osama, U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance will be leading the American delegation for talks with Iran in Pakistan. How do you view his participation in the talks, especially that the Iranian people were for his participation because he was against the war at the beginning?
You know what, about J.D. Vance, the Vice President of the United States of America, this man actually, as we've heard from the media channels and newspapers, that he was, maybe from the beginning, was against the war.
Yeah.
And maybe he could understand that this war is not, you know what, is not like viable enough to be conducted with a great and complete victory. And now he's leading the negotiations. He led the negotiations like 10 days ago or something, yes. And the problem maybe laid down on other two characters, as we heard that Stephen C. Westcott and Jared Kushner.
Yeah.
Because the Pakistanis said these two people are not like efficient enough, maybe competent enough to go through very difficult and detailed, sophisticated and complicated negotiations that we had. They tried to tell them, for instance, the difference between the nuclear reactor and the other things in the laboratories, and these are like very detailed points within the paper. So not Witkoff, not even Kushner could understand that. So they went against each other. And Witkoff said the Iranians were talking to us from the perception of from up to down, and we've been humiliated, stuff like that. So they went back. However, we say yes. Put the Vice President, the J.D. Vance. This man seems to be efficient enough to lead the negotiation game. But with him, put Marco Rubio, and why not John Ratcliffe, the director of CIA. These are the two main characters actually to lead the negotiations.
Yeah.
You can add the president or the vice president, but who other than like the foreign minister and the director of the CIA in every sort of negotiation that we've heard from the old history, to be replaced by whom? By well-state like businessmen. That's why maybe the first negotiations couldn't reach to a good point of compromise or 2 points of rapprochement in between the two counterparts. But if they changed the two characters, from my perception, negotiations will meet much more succession this time, and we hope that.
Yeah. Major General Osama, security in Pakistan's capital Islamabad was stepped up visibly ahead of the peace talks between America and Iran, and also authorities announced that road closures and traffic restrictions across the city as well as the neighboring districts. How do you view the choice of Pakistan for the talks in the first round and in the second round?
Very smart question. You know what? I've been to Pakistan, by the way, something like 7 years ago in Islamabad itself, and I stayed there for a long time, a year.
Yeah.
Pakistan is a very beautiful country. Islamabad is a very, very green, beautiful state. It's in the Punjab province, a little bit close to the Indian borders. People there are pretty much nice, and they are very willing to meet other cultures and people from other countries within the world. And it's a little bit, maybe some security harshing. They understand they have suffered like the war against terrorists since the 2001, maybe up to 2007 or 8. They have fight against that for 8 years. But it's pretty much safe place. Pakistan is a very beautiful place. Islamabad specifically is very modernized and beautiful city, and the security there is 100% okay. You cannot take any observations or any points of you know, what am I supposed to say, negative points against security. Police are in the streets. People are very organized. The traffic is very disciplined there. And they have very, very good police members, and they have very strong army as well. And we wish them very, very good luck within this upcoming negotiation.
Yes, we hope so. Well, Mr. Major General Osama Kabeer, the advisor of at the Command and Staff College, thank you very much for joining us today in our special coverage.